I'm excited because today we're really going to be focused on how to increase your Facebook and Instagram engagement and the biggest factors that you need to be implementing in order to really explode your engagement, or to really explode your exposure, and to take things to the next level. And if you do not do these things, then I'm getting ready to share some of my best practices and tips. You will find yourself struggling, right? This year will be just like last year, and the year moving forward, right? You'll have the same years over and over and over again if you fail to do the best practices in terms of exploding your engagement. And is what I did to go from literally 0 to over 10,000 plus followers on Instagram, and just have over 1.2 million people see my posts and my trainings on Facebook. So how am I doing it? How is it happening? That's what I'm going. So I've learned throughout my years of being a coach that when you want to make an impact on the world, right? You want to speak to more people, you want to coach people, you really want to increase your level of exposure in the world. Well, in order to really do that, more exposure means that more people are discovering you. If you agree with that, put I agree in the chat. So more exposure means more discovery. More people discovering you means more people who are exposed to your message. More people exposed to your message means more people who are going to want help from you. More people who want help from you is going to be more people who actually want to work with you. So that is why all of this is important, is to really help you gain more exposure, and more exposure ultimately is going to lead people down the hole of potentially working with you if it's a good fit. All right. And I know this from experience because I was in a place where for many years trying to figure out the social media thing. Like, I technically knew how to use social media, but I didn't really understand the strategies and the human psychology behind how to actually get somebody to find my content amazing and actually say, yo, like, Terrell is a valuable resource in my life. I want to keep rocking with him because I love his content. I love who he is. I love his personality. I engage. We kind of alike, right? I love his authenticity. So how do I continue to build and grow that based on what are my unique strengths? And so early on, I didn't really know. I was kind of just throwing things against the wall, seeing what stuck. And I was stuck at a lot of the same followers. I was stuck at 2,000 followers for a long time, for years. Now, if you've been stuck at the same amount of followers and pretty much the same amount of engagement for years, just go ahead and say put I in the chat, right? And keep it real, because I was. And the big challenge that I faced was I really didn't know what to do. So I was searching for solutions. And then I started spending money. And once I started spending money to really figure out what I needed to do, that's when things started taking a turn for me. Because my first 2 years, I struggled a lot trying to get exposure, trying to get clients, and nothing was really clicking for me. So I was spinning in circles for about 2 years trying to figure things out. And then once I started spending money on coaching, I said, oh, that's what I need to do to get clients. Oh, that's how I should be putting out content. This algorithm thing. Oh, that's how you play nice with the algorithm. Oh, that's what's the difference between these platforms. I started learning how to actually win the game. And one of the biggest problems I see people make, and I made it at first too, is that we're not respecting the rules of the game. At the end of the day, these social media platforms, they are the house, right? If you think about sports, they are the home team. They are the house. They are the home team. So if you're basically ignoring, disrespecting, or not following the rules of the social media platform that you want to increase, in this case, we're talking about Facebook and Instagram, then you will not win. And winning ultimately is the reach. Because why are we on these social media platforms is because they have our ideal client on it. So and our goal is to play as nice as we can with the algorithm. Our goal is to put out as great and amazing of content as possible so we can increase our reach and our exposure. Not about doing it one time, because I'm gonna give you some strategies, but it ain't about doing it one time. And it's not about doing 40% of it. Or hey, I'm doing half the things you mentioned, Coach T, right? Or it's you know what, I was doing it a couple days last week. Or you do it once next week, or you do it for the entire week, but then the next week you fall off and you only do it for 2 days. So it's about doing the right principles and practices, and it's about doing it consistently. And when you do that, you will get consistent results, right? Put consistent results in the chat and give this some likes. Like, are you feeling this? Is this valuable? Is this valuable? Give them some like give this some likes if this is valuable, because this is very, 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 very key. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it. So let me give you a couple strategies. Okay. So let's jump right in. So number one, right, when it comes to your content, how do you know what's even valuable to you, right? So I work a majority with coaches, people who want to make a huge impact in the world, but they really just don't know how to handle this content thing. Well, the very first thing you want to do, and write this in the chat for folks who come back and watch this, engage in the best environments. Write that in the chat. Engage in the best environments. Coach T, what do you mean by that? You have to engage in environments where your potential clients are. See, the problem that I had was I was just doing posting, and I forgot who I was talking to. I was talking to one of my clients recently, and we did actually it was one of our mentorship Mondays like a few weeks ago. And one of the things that she said, she was like, yo, what I used to do before I started working with you was I used to post and pray. I used to post and pray. Put post and pray in the chat. I used to post and pray, right? And what's interesting about that is I think a lot of us do that. We post and then we just hope magic happens. And again, you're not playing nice with the algorithm. What Facebook wants, what Instagram wants is they want conversation. They want people posting. They want people staying on their platform. So your goal is to get inside of environments, aka Facebook groups, aka the comments of other influencers. By the way, that's one of the ways that I got on ET the Hip Hop Preacher's radar, was I was in his comments just giving value. Environment, right? I know he's a speaker. I know he's a coach. I know that there's going to be a lot of coaches and speakers that are in his comments. So what I started doing was I started getting in the comments, and I started giving value. And guess what? Anytime you give value under somebody's comments, what's going to happen? ET just started getting massive notifications from me every day. And it was just me answering the people that he couldn't answer. It was just me giving value. And people like, I'm scrolling through his comments. I see this. I'm seeing I am Terrell Jones just giving a lot of value in here. And I was just me every day, just giving value. And I was in Facebook groups giving value, right? And what happened was I would still post on my profile, on my page. I was still posting my stories. However, I also set a time aside of my day to just go in the environments, because remember, they're not following you. So I used to spend time just going through hashtags, liking people's stuff, giving value in different influencers' comments, liking, giving value, Facebook groups, liking, giving value. Like wherever my people were at, that's where I was at. And I think far too many of us, I don't know if it's because you're busy or whatever the case is, but you gotta find time to just get in front of your audience. Like you gotta find time to do that. Even if you got some money and you need to run some ads, guess what? Spend some money, run some ads to get yourself in front of your ideal audience. Now realize that you got to be comfortable with potentially losing your money. So if you're going to set aside $500 a month, you got to be prepared to lose that $500. If it's like, if you're going to be hurt and you're going to be, oh my God, I can't make rent because I lost this $500. You don't need to run ads, right? So like, don't use that to get exposure. But however, for you to get exposure, you got to be in the environments that your clients are at giving value. Your cornerstone content is, what are the key pieces of content you're going to put out? There's really no right or wrong in terms of key content, but I'm going to tell you this. The features that, like, as you continue to see new features get rolled out on Instagram and on Facebook, really any social media platform, but for relevance of this conversation on Instagram and on Facebook, understand that the algorithm gives priority to new features that they roll out. So for example, when Instagram Live first came out, then guess what? When you went live, the algorithm will increase your reach. Your reach is how many people are actually seeing it. Not necessarily clicking on or engaging with it, but how many people are at least coming across your content. Okay, so it's reach, right? How many people, like, you know, are actually, you know, experiencing, or comes up on a feed or whatever, right? So that's really, really key. Now with that, that can go for carousels, that can go for like anything that you see that they roll out. You want to be stickers, IG, Instagram Reels, right? Like, as you start to do more of the features that they want you to use, the algorithm prioritizes your reach over other people. Does that make sense? So your goal is, if you can use some of those new features, use it. But I really want you to be more consistent with the types of content you could be consistent with. So I'm gonna give you some examples. Video is one, right? So, but what types of videos? You could do interview style videos, and as I'm rattling some of these off, feel free to put it in the chat too for other folks watching this. So you could do video type of content, like, but video in terms of interviews is one. You could do direct to camera. Direct to camera is like me, like, looking directly at the camera. You could do voiceover videos. So voiceover videos is like, sometimes you see people, let's say they might be working out, or they're doing one activity, or you know, a lot of women like to use this on Instagram, where they might be walking, right? And she's walking her heels or whatever the case is, or she's working out, and then there's music over it, or there's a voiceover over it, right? So you can do that type of video. You can do a comedy type of video that's related to your niche audience. Sometimes I like to do that. Like, if you look at my last post on Instagram, I did depending on when you watch this, you might be watching a replay, but I did a post on Instagram recently that showed the lady doing a speaking engagement, and then one of the kids basically cursed her out. this little bad kid went on there and basically, you know, cursed her out. No, you bitch. You know, he was just like cursing up a storm, like a little kid. And but I made it relevant. In the post said something along the lines of, you know, when you're a new coach and you finally do your first speaking engagement. And then as soon as she said, "Hello, boys and girls," and then the kid was like, "Shut the F up." And he was getting crazy. Right. And, boom, exploded. Right. And a ton of people like found that funny, and it was hilarious. Right. And it's just content that's relevant and is engaging. Right. So you can do more entertaining kind of content. It's so many types and styles of video you can do. Writing on a whiteboard, you can do that. If video is just one style, you can also do like writing. So like you could do quotes, you could do photos with like a story under it. So that's another kind of style. So there's really no limit to how you want to post the content. The thing that I'm gonna say is, do the content that is not going to take you 1-2 hours to do, and also do content that you could be consistent with.